I'm Charlie Badweenie, and welcome back to an outdoor edition of Inside the Nest. After a few cancellations, baseball returns back home to Yogi Berra Stadium in a big way. Baseball has scored 20 or more runs multiple times, even winning in walk-off fashion. Let's go behind the numbers with the baseball team.
The Montclair State baseball team has been on an insane tear as of late, and just to show you how crazy it's been, we're going to throw some big numbers at you, so be ready for that. 157. That's the amount of runs Montclair State has scored already this season in only 13 games played. They're averaging a little over 12 runs per game and lead the entire NJAC by at least 11. But they've played the least amount of games compared to all the other teams. They're the only group averaging over 11 runs a game, as they have 12. Now, although they're averaging 12 runs a game, they haven't been doing that every single game. The scoring has came in bunches, and Montclair State baseball has scored 22 plus runs in 5 games this season. Manhattanville, 22-4 win. Penn State Abington, 25-6. Lehman, 25-0. McDaniel, 22-5 and 25-3. Now, if you're wondering where all this scoring is coming from, it resides in the number 13. Yes, that is the amount of home runs Montclair State has in their 13 games. They're averaging 1 home run per game and lead the whole NJAC. Rowan and William Patterson trail with 12 and Ramapo with 11, but Montclair State is the only team averaging a home run a game. Lastly, we have to give credit to Montclair State's pitching. 3.29. That's the team ERA, which leads the entire NJAC. The only ERA as well that's under 4. Montclair State's pitching also leads with the least amount of hits allowed, the lowest batting average faced, and is by far the best group of aces you'll see in the NJAC. Ryan McKenna put up 8 RBIs in a game against Lehman College. That's the second most in program history for RBIs in a single game. At the moment, he's got the second most home runs in the NJAC, and he's got the most triples as well with 3. Sam Angelo put up 2 home runs against Penn State Abington, and he's got the second most home runs in the NJAC and leads Montclair State in RBIs and doubles. Anthony Guarino has been incredible on the defensive end with 100 combined putouts and assists, while Miles Feaster leads Montclair State in hits and runs, while tailing Angelo just in the race for most RBIs.
It's not just baseball who's dealt with shakeups and bad weather. Softball is also back in full swing, and they're off to a hot start. Another doubleheader on Sunday versus Keene State, and the Redhawks were successful.
The softball team improves to 12-2 on the season after sweeping the Keene State Owls 6-0 in the first game, and then 4-2 in the second game. In the first game, no team scored until the 4th inning, where after a fielder's choice scored Kayla Cosentino and an RBI single from Melissa Borzan in the 5th, Amber Reed hit her second home run of the season. After bringing in 3 runs there, the Redhawks would then shut out the Owls in Game 1. In Game 2, a 2-run double from Liz Mullen and an RBI single from Stephanie Cerritas helped bring in all 4 runs from Montclair State in the 3rd inning. Keene State would answer in the 7th with 2 runs, but Cerritas would end up with the save and giving the team another win. Softball's next doubleheader is against Stevens on Tuesday, March 28th.
From the softball field to the pool, let's focus on a swimmer who has made strides in Panzer Pool and beyond. Junior breaststroke swimmer Spenser Dubois recently set a school record and made NCAA B cut at Metropolitan Championships, and he's ready for more.
Many athletes here at MSU have a long list of athletic accolades, and Spenser Dubois is no exception. Dubois comes from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and competed at Cherry Hill East High School and for club team MLY Phoenix YMCA in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. In high school, he helped the school get 3rd place in the 200 medley relay and the NJSIAA Meet of Champions. But his career didn't start off the way he wanted it to. Dubois' concerns as a freshman weren't like everyone else's. How to get to your classes and where things are. For Dubois and the rest of the 2020 incoming class, the coronavirus affected not just the Montclair State campus, but the world. Dubois didn't let the pandemic impede his success, with some of his career best coming in his freshman year. He had personal best in the 200-yard freestyle against Ramapo and William Patterson in his collegiate debut, and had 3 personal bests on March 5th and 6th against TC&J, as he had personal best in the 50-yard freestyle, the 50-yard breaststroke, and a 200-yard breaststroke.
So going into my freshman year, I kind of had the mindset of like something to prove and a lot of goals to work towards. I feel like every year what helps me with my mindset and getting back into the sport and getting into shape is I try to set goals for myself. So coming into my freshman year, my first goals were I wanted to get the breaststroke records And if I couldn't get them those years, then I would move those goals to the following year, the year coming up.
The one person who is always there and always shows her support for Spenser, and the reason for Spenser deciding to come to Montclair, was his older sister, Hannah.
It was always his choice. I always made sure that he knew that. I wanted him to be happy overall. If he wasn't happy here, then I didn't want him to come here. But, you know, we definitely had that conversation where he was like, you know, I'm not totally sure if Montclair is on my radar. I'm not totally sure if it's somewhere I want to go. And at least I hope I was pushy enough to be, you know, at least try it. Come see it. You can come stay with me for, you know, a day before, and then, you know, come see it. See what it's all about, not just in a swimming aspect.
I'm really close with my sister. So I'm really close with my family in general, but so when I was first coming to Montclair, Montclair was not on my radar at all. And the one person that really started selling it to me was my sister, because she came here and she let me visit her and like let me stay with her and just like experience everything. And so coming to Montclair was really like, she was like the leading force to that. Of course there was like the coaches that recruited me and my parents liked the school, but Hannah was the first person that really put that thought in my mind.
And there was no sophomore slump. He had more success as he finished first in the double duel meet against Drew University and came away with first place in the 200-yard freestyle and getting him another personal best. And it didn't stop there. In the Metro Championships, he achieved second place twice in the 50-yard breaststroke and the 100-yard breaststroke, and also come away with third place in the 200-yard breaststroke.
So my sophomore year, my goals or my intentions were, I kind of just had a lot to prove and not a lot of people knew who I was. And so that year was kind of like, let people discover who I am and kind of make a name for myself.
Coach McLaughlin was very happy with Dubois' progress.
It's been great. You know, you make big jumps initially, and then what happens in a sport like running or swimming, it tapers off a bit, because when you're starting to get into a different level, you're looking for improvements, but the improvements don't have to be as great. So he's one of the more elite breaststrokers, certainly in our conference region, and trying to crack into the national level as well.
Junior year, he did not disappoint once again as he competed in the Metro Championships. He finished second place in the 100-yard breaststroke and finished fourth place in the 200-yard breaststroke.
And then this year was, I had personal goals, which was maybe win Mets or maybe re-break a record, but this year was to have fun, kind of enjoy the team, and do what I had to do for the team. I haven't put a lot of thought into it as of right now. I still have a 5th year of eligibility if I would like to take it. So I think going into my senior year, it's going to be my last year of just really making sure my name is out there, making sure people know who I am, but also, like I said before, dual meet season, before championship meets, it's really just doing whatever my team needs, and I'm always going to do that no matter what. So my mindset's really just doing what needs to be done and trying to accomplish the end goal.
Spenser still has one more year left in his collegiate career, and he'll be looking to add on to an already impressive Red Hawk legacy.
This Saturday, the Red Hawk Sports Network, in partnership with BMO, is putting together the biggest spring semester broadcast we've ever done. The baseball team faces Rutgers-Newark in their first NJAC matchup starting at 11:30 a.m. We got a great show planned. Let's see how these teams stack up.
This weekend is Red Hawk Sports Network's first multicam production for the spring 2023 season. Montclair State men's baseball and women's softball will be undergoing doubleheaders this Saturday, April 1st, taking on Rutgers-Newark men's and women's teams. As we take a look at previous matchups between the two teams on both the men's and women's side, we can expect an exciting performance on Montclair's behalf. On the men's team, they have accumulated a total of 93 wins against Rutgers-Newark since their first matchup in 1938, and only 20 losses. The longest streak the men's baseball team has had against Rutgers-Newark is 23 games between 1966 and 1986. They are currently running strong with a 4-game win streak against Rutgers-Newark so far. The women's softball team, on the other hand, has accumulated a total of 43 wins against the opposing Rutgers-Newark softball team since their first game in 1984. More impressively, Montclair State has only given away 3 wins to Rutgers-Newark softball, looking to pull back another impressive winning streak since their loss last season in their April 2nd doubleheader. Make sure to tune in and support our fellow Redhawks this season as we come closer to our next matchup between the two teams this Saturday. Men's baseball games start at 11:30 and 2:30, And the women's softball games start at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
I hope you all enjoyed the latest episode of Inside the Nest. Make sure to keep up with baseball and softball and see if they can keep up their hot starts, as well as the lacrosse teams over at Sprague Field. Make sure to tune into our YouTube and Hawk Plus on Saturday for our big baseball broadcast. This has been Charlie Badwini. Have a good rest of your week.